I think we are live. Good morning and a happy evening to all our panelists and all the attendees, the parents, the students and the teachers. Isn't it always wonderful to come together as a family? And today we come together to launch the first webinar in a series of webinars on the occasion of to mark the 25th year, the Silver Jubilee year of DLF Public School. I welcome you all to this webinar. I welcome in our midst a very versatile, proactive and forward-looking school director, Dr. Mrignen. I also welcome our experts of the day, Dr. Daya Pant and Dr. Gagandeep Kaur. Great to have you both with us today. Dr. Pant brings to today's discussion 45 years of rich experience and wisdom. A renowned educationist, Dr. Pant retired from the NCERT as the head of the Department of Educational Psychology. Dr. Pant is author of numerous books and research papers. Welcome to DLF Public School, Dr. Pant. Dr. Gagandeep Kaur is a celebrated child clinical psychologist and winner of the Presidential Gold Medal, amongst other medals, and the numerous awards. And during her 14 years of experience, she has authored 17 books, my God. Her articles are published in Hindustan Times, Dainik Jagran, and many of you may have seen her on television as well. She is a resource person for the CBSE and director of the Unique Psychological Services. Welcome to DLF Public School again, Dr. Gagandeep.
My pleasure.
I must say that Dr. Gagandeep has been sharing her expertise and very generously so across through workshops and now webinars. And even today, I think I am invited to 3 webinars where she's also present, and she's doing so many. And the next one is at 11. And so we were very conscious that we have to start bang on time. I also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Himani Tyagi, our academic head and a life coach. Ms. Monica Sharma, the producer and organizer of today's event and managing everything backend. And our life skills team, our school counselors, Ms. Charu Seth, Ms. Renu Bhatia, Ms. Hanika Khullar, who promote socio-emotional well-being through their life skills sessions all across the school. Every class has a dedicated counselor attached to them. And they are the ones who flag the need for every member of a DLF family to have this toolkit for socio-emotional well-being. And that is how we are here. And to just share with you the need, I think by evening yesterday, we already had to the tune of 400 questions before the event. I'm sure there will be more questions here, but we had 400 questions, which again justifies how important it was to have this event today. And in response to that is how we rose to the occasion. You know, there can be no two opinions about socio-emotional well-being being a top need, the top priority for everyone, whether you are a parent, whether you are a principal, a teacher, a student, each of us, it's hugely important, more important probably than everything else, if we have to lead that quality life that we are meant to lead. And with the coming of the COVID-19, all our lives changed in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, we were living with restrictions. Suddenly, we were living with uncertainty. Our routines were disrupted. Healthy social interaction with friends, with family members, with anybody else came to a halt. And all of this had to have emotional consequences for everyone, child or adult alike. And in times of such uncertainty and continuous fear, it becomes imperative to develop this mental robustness or this socio-emotional well-being that we are talking about. Let me quickly share with you, Monica ma'am, if you could help me with the slides, it will save some time if you can share them for me. So, could we move to the next slide and the next slide, ma'am? Could we please move to the next slide, Monica ma'am? Monica ma'am, could we please move to the next slide? So, you know, we have a huge number of questions. We invited questions from parents, like I said, and we also invited questions from students. And let me share with you some of the fears and the concerns that our adolescent Delphites have articulated during their life skills sessions. And the questions that came to us in the last 2 days say a similar story. Children are feeling isolated and lonely. There are mood swings. Sometimes there is sadness. Sometimes there is you are happy. And sometimes you're even angry. What should we do? What should one do when one is feeling that I'm going crazy, I'm losing my mind? And there are so many questions. We just picked a few questions. And of course, we cannot answer all of them, but we made them into clusters so that we can answer them today. But children, I must applaud your teachers who created this emotionally safe climate in the school so that you could share your feelings so openly. And I celebrate the fact that you are able to look at your thoughts and feelings and put them into words like this. This is what emotional intelligence is about. And it is the first step towards building this mental robustness or emotional well being. And honestly, when I look at these questions and the other questions that have come, a lot of us adults also feel similarly at many times. Sometimes, we may not admit it as easily, but it's happening to all of us. So, what is that toolkit that you, the experts, suggest to us? Is where this entire conversation is headed. Even when you look around us at society, how many of you would have heard of a threat given to MS Dhoni's 5-year-old daughter because he did not play well in a cricket match? All of you must have heard about it. Who gave the threat? A 16-year-old student in Gujarat. Was this 16-year-old student a criminal? No. Why do you think he did it? It was just a case of unregulated emotions. He felt something, he could not control his emotions, he made a poor choice, took a wrong decision, and he posted something. People are calling him all kinds of bad things. There is legal action being taken against him. Of course, that is an extreme case. But children, all of you are netizens now. All of you are on the net. There are net etiquettes that have been conveyed to you that you need to follow, virtual etiquettes. But children, if all of you look inwards, even adults, does it sometimes happen that certain children, and maybe sometimes some of you, post something in the chat box without thinking that your words can hurt another child? Or sometimes tease another child or bully another child or put words that are objectionable, sometimes dirty, or sometimes when you violate the net etiquettes by not using the language of respect. Does that happen? I just want you to look inside and think about it. Maybe it is not very common in our school, but it does happen. I have to say that. And whenever it happens, it is again an outcome of your inability to control your emotions and an outcome of making the wrong choice, taking the wrong decision, and slowly it becomes behavior. And you don't even come to know when this bad behavior becomes a habit, and when this habit becomes an attitude, and when this attitude, eventually your attitudes define your life. So this attitude becomes your destiny. And I again look at our experts for helping us to create a toolkit to tackle the negative emotions and create mental robustness for our children and for all the adults who are connected to us. Now, mental toughness actually begins when we choose to take notice of our thoughts. I'm having this bad thought, I'm having this bad feeling, and you start looking at it. And then you consciously try to evoke positive thoughts about the situation at hand. So when you feel very agitated, very disturbed, what do? You consciously choose calmness. And when you choose calmness, agitation goes away. There is no other way. It is like you want darkness to go away. You are in a dark room. Go away, darkness. Darkness won't go. But the moment you switch on the light, the darkness will vanish. And all of us have to remember one thing, children, that without getting things within us right, nothing outside of us will become right. So, dear parents, even for you, your children are your CCTV cameras. And remember that they look at you and they look to you and they pick up how you react to such stressful situations and they learn their lessons. Whatever you may teach them, they will catch what the CCTV will catch. The school also has a responsibility. And at DLF, our focus is on creating a warm, Monica ma'am, if you could please change the slide. Thank you. At DLF, our focus is on creating a warm classroom culture where students know that they are respected and cared for as individuals. Our life skills sessions focus on building skills like ability to deal with stress and frustration, finding new ways of problem solving, and developing a greater sense of self-awareness. So we are working in that direction, and we have tried to equip our children with activities that involve reflection, that involve sharing of feelings, and that involve making some emotional aids for themselves like a comfort box or a sparkle jar. Next slide, please. What you see, can you please change the slide, Monica ma'am? So we've given it a name that, all right, choose joy. And these are all the numerous things that you can do when you want to bring joy into your life. Next slide, please. Next, I think, is a Padlet that you can see on the screen, a simple exercise of class 4 students so that they could recognize and acknowledge the emotion that they're feeling at a time, and they can give a name to how they are feeling. So we usually start every class with some socio-emotional strengthening exercise, and this is the outcome of one such exercise. Next, please. The next is a comfort box. A number of comfort boxes that children have made. Different children have made different comfort boxes. There is a little something written about each of these children, and they put into that comfort box things that comfort them. So somebody's put a Rubik's cube. Somebody's put, I think, one child who has written that my comfort box consists of some motivational quotations, some of my happiest moments, a letter to myself in the future. It has my goals. It has a notepad for writing things. It has sketch pens. Somebody has written, mine has drawing. I make a drawing when I do that. Somebody's kit has a Rubik's cube. So different things. One of the children has written that I have put all my certificates that I have received from at different points in my life. So this is what a comfort box is about. The next one, please. The next picture that's coming up is a sparkle jar, a tool that you can use to just calm yourself. And there are numerous exercises that our life skills coaches are doing in their classes. I close with just one advice, that child or adult, we all need to accept one fact, that never again in our lifetime are we going to have access to so much time for ourselves and with ourselves. So let's accept the crisis. Let's use it to build our mental robustness. Whether you take help of music, books, do it yourself, constructive activities, or what is my favorite, document your days and your thoughts in a journal. Something I've been doing since 1999. I started late, but you could start earlier. And journaling helps you to learn to live with your thoughts and make this journal the book of your life. After some years, when you look back at it, you will find that. And before I pass on the baton to our first speaker, Dr. Gagandeep Kaur, I hope that each one of you who's here in this webinar will take back with you a toolkit for social emotional well-being. If you have any questions, there is a Q&A box. You can start typing in your questions there. Himani ma'am and Charu ma'am are noting your questions, and they will make sure that they will ask those questions to the experts. Thank you very much. And over to you, Dr. Gagandeep. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm extremely thrilled to be a part of your organization. Let me be very honest, I met you around 11, 12 years back now, and I'm seeing you at least on, through this technology after so many years, but you look the same. You've just grown more beautiful, that's all. So, I mean, I think, and that is a reflection of how healthy your social, emotional, mental state is. I mean, it reflects in the character, it reflects in the way you look. So I think nobody can have a better role model as your children have to have a principle like this and the amazing work that you have. Actually, I've copied one slide from your presentation while you were saying. I really love that comfort box and the sparkle jar wala thing. That was really nice. So thank you so much. It's my pleasure, and I'm very grateful to your entire team and to the other speaker, ma'am. She's a very senior ma'am. With all due regards and respect, I feel I'm just a very small drop in this ocean. Would try and do whatever best that I can. So thank you so much, ma'am. And guys, I would be moving down straight away to my topic. We'll try and speak for only 10-15 minutes so that I can take your questions more. As ma'am very rightly said, that your socio-emotional kit or your toolkit actually starts with you. You cannot have a healthy emotional relationship or a social relationship with anybody, be it your girlfriend, be it your boyfriend, your parents, your teachers, anybody in the world, till you don't have a relationship with yourself. And I think one of the major issues why so called internet addictions or bullying or the other kinds of problems that we see in children is increasing because most of us are disconnected with ourselves. There is so much stimulation from the outside world, and there is so much pressure to put that perfect picture on your DPs, social media sites, that somehow we become disconnected with ourselves. मतलब खुद से नाता कहीं ना कहीं टूट रहा है. It's more about how am I seen, what people talk about me, and it's less about what I see myself as. I mean, how many of us have the courage to stand in front of the mirror and look at our own selves with our flaws? Most of us end up hiding our things rather than facing them. So, as long as you're running away from your own self, from your own gray areas, your social emotional well being is definitely going to be compromised. I think second major problem that arises is that we have laid a lot of responsibility for our happiness onto the other. मैम अच्छे से क्लास में बात करेंगी, मम्मी पापा मुझे समझेंगे, गर्लफ्रेंड या बॉयफ्रेंड ठीक से पेश आएगा, मेरे क्लासमेट्स will behave well with me, if I succeed, if I get some certificates, if I win in the competitions, only then I'm happy. But guys, the moment you put the remote control in the hands of others, your chances of being miserable increase. So the second major thing for you to be more socially and emotionally healthy is to take control of your life. So you yourself are responsible for both your misery and happiness. I may sound very, very blunt here, but I mean it. What a simple logic here. What others do, they do. But what you do makes a major, major difference with respect to how you react or respond to these situations. And that stems more from your own mind, from your own psyche, and how you look at things. These situation or major reason, I mean, there's so many, I'm just picking up some of them. For the current state, when the children had written, I was copying few things that they said, ma'am, we don't know what to do if I feel so isolated, lonely, sad. There is so much anger. I feel as if I'm losing my mind. There's a fear of changes in life. So the third basic issue is that we end up escaping. We run away from situations. We don't end up facing life. And that's what happens. So the day you are very, very upset, many adolescents end up putting the best DP, or they'll put up something very different, which is so alien and sometimes even opposite of their own emotional state. ऐसे लगता है ऐसे डर लगता है ये बोलने में कि यार हाँ यार I'm feeling very sad. ऐसा लगता है as if we have to project I'm always happy. एक fear है कि if I write something sad, if I genuinely express my emotion, maybe a lot of people will reject me. They will not even accept me. So there's a pressure to put always that picture across. So I keep hiding my emotions, specifically the negative or the grayer emotions. But yeah, see these, if you very carefully look below, it is these bad times that actually make you better. It is these so-called grayer areas of life that carry the potential, or they don't leave you with a choice, but they push you to a level where you have to move towards a growth or learn something out of it. And if you don't, the pattern seems to repeat. And that is why a lot of us hide behind these internet or gadgets to, save the skin or the emotions or the negative emotions that we carry, which very slowly and gradually makes us seep into the silent and the deadliest addiction, which is now diagnosed by APA as internet or gadget addictions. One major thing, the last thing that happens is changes in life. Somebody said, "यार इतने क्यों बदलाव होते हैं?" But guys, change is the constant thing. No, if the water stands still, वो सड़ जाएगा. It's not going to work. So some movement, some continuity is essential. The only problem is not that the life is changing. The issue is that we have begun to not trust ourselves as much. So we feel if things don't happen the way I want, the way I think, if I do not have control over it, कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाएगा and I will not know how to manage that. I think that's another key concern that happens. So let's move down to handling this. I'm sure all of you know what internet addictions are. I'll just take a 2 second on it. If any point in life you see that you are hooked onto your internet for a longer period of time, you keep saying, Acha, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes don't end in 5 hours too. So there's difficulty cutting down. Secondly, if you feel that I have now begun to become more comfortable with online friends than offline ones. Third, if you see continuously preoccupied कि class हो रही है या मैं किसी और के साथ हूँ, but I'm continuously thinking, the post that I put on the Insta, how many likes did I get? How many followers I have now? How did people react to it? If mentally I am off into this internet world, there are high chances that you're moving towards addiction. If you feel very, very irritable, vulnerable, and you use this as an escape, because a lot of these games that you play release serotonins in your head and they give you that sense of pleasure. And that is why we end up playing them. So whenever we feel low, instead of addressing the situation at hand, we try and escape by playing these different games or watching Netflix or binge watching a lot of these things, which makes us more go into that realms of addiction. Fifth, if you feel that you have been compromising your everyday functioning in life, मतलब स्कूल का काम छूट रहा है, सुन नहीं रहे, responsibilities नहीं उठा रहे हैं, कमरा गंदा पड़ा है तो पड़ा है, you're not bothered and I'm only hooked onto it, my sleep is getting compromised, and there's a complete apathy, lack of interest or motivation to do something in all other areas of my life. So we need to take a step back and understand कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो रहा है. Probably I am getting into addiction and this is an addiction that is applicable for anybody. So people of any age or socioeconomic strata are prone to it. If we talk of bullying, यार why do we bully? इसीलिए होता है ना क्योंकि अपनी सेल्फ एस्टीम बड़ी लो होती है. So sometimes we feel like when you hit the other, you punch the other, or you burst somebody's self, it gives you that high. It makes you feel better because you believe that the other has been minimized or ridiculed. And a lot of children who have low self-esteem issues, who have poor social skills, who have difficulty expressing their emotions, they keep thinking, and they don't vent out their emotions, whose problem solving skills are very, very poor, do not have enough support circles, are the ones who are prone both to internet addiction and bullying, both ways, either victims and even the abuser. If we talk of this individual who bullies the other, also has a similar trait here. The only difference is he tries to hide it with a face. And that is why you'll see bullying never happens by one individual. It's usually a group that seems to bully one person, right? So bullying also happens because you are not very comfortable with your own self. So you're making the other person feel miserable and you're laughing over it, and that gives you a high. I'm sure you would understand how sadistic would that be. I mean, it may not be a great idea. Now let's get down to how do we get out of it. Step number one, quick pointers. I'll just speak for another 5 minutes, that's all. Point number one, for internet addiction, ensure that you have a routine which is off the net for a while. Second, use your nets and gadgets, specify a time. डील नहीं है कि इस पूरे रूटीन में 1 घंटा 2 घंटा वट एवर आई डू, और उसके बियॉन्ड मत यूज करो. तीसरा, एक और इशू होता है कि आज की डेट में हम अपने फोन्स या मोबाइल्स को यूज करते हैं. गिव मी 1 सेकंड गाइस, माय बैटरी इज गोइंग ऑफ. एक और चीज होता है that these days we also end up using our mobiles or our gadgets or internet for anything and everything. चाहे मूवी देखना हो, चाहे शॉपिंग करनी हो, या इवन गेम्स खेलना है ऑनलाइन, socially connect करना है. So try and restrict the use of it and use it only for a specific purpose. There are so many other mediums to be in touch. Otherwise आपको पता नहीं लगेगा. Another thing that you need to do is inculcate a sense of hobby. Create something, innovate something every day. Like you have this comfort box, which is a very beautiful idea. I think you also need to have a box which says innovative me. So in that box, you can keep putting ideas, keep creating things so that you're able to innovate yourself, because that will keep you more alive and away from technology for a while. Ensure that you do not watch it while eating your food. आदत हो गई है कि खाना खा रहे हैं तो ये तो साथ में चलेगा ही चलेगा. Time yourself. Avoid watching it in the night because obviously वो आपका sleep wake cycle गड़बड़ करेगा ही करेगा. Have some time for walk, exercise, और कुछ नहीं होता cycle चला लो. Or play board games. I know Ludo is available. A lot of these tambolas are available online also. But these age-old methods, I may sound very, very, traditional. But these board games are more fun. कम से कम cheating होती है, मजा आता है कभी इधर उधर किया. It's more fun. It's more alive than technology. So थोड़ा सा technology off करके भी जीना सीखना पड़ेगा. As ma'am said, write a diary entry, monitor what you did. Very, very important, guys. If you don't want to get into this addiction, learn to acknowledge and accept your emotion. Akela feel karna and alone feel karna. Lonely and alone में difference है, guys. So when you're alone, it doesn't mean that you're lonely. You can be happy. You can enjoy your own company. It's a very, very important thing that you try and be friends with yourself. Have a conversation with yourself. The need to fill the negativity or the emptiness that we have with all the external things, be it gadgets or social medias or all these things, would reduce, guys. If we talk of bullying, so what you can do, step number 1, guys, work, develop some degree of empathy. You have a beautiful team of life skills teachers. I'm sure they would be teaching you self-awareness, empathy, a lot of these life skills. Simple sa funda yaar. Can I once in a while focus on how the other is feeling? Second, can I, for a change, instead of expecting what I can get from the other, once in a while think, how can I make the other feel special and nice? Third, whenever somebody is using wrong words, name calling, or being very abusive, do not be a bystander. मतलब शांति से खड़े होके तमाशा मत देखो, वो देखना भी एक sense of approval होता है. Can you have the courage to speak or stand for right? All that you need to do is when a group is bullying that particular child, just go stand by the child and take the child away on some excuse or the other. Inform your teachers about it. As a bully, a lot of times it is seen that the person who bullies himself has been a victim of bullying. I think if you have been a victim of bullying, nobody can better understand how it feels when you're being bullied. So, there is a psychological need to gain control of that situation because when you were bullied in the past, you felt miserable and helpless and you felt that this world is so unfair and you took it on your own self at the unconscious level that I need to control this and I need to show the world that I'm not weak and I can do something. And sometimes we do that by bullying the other. So guys, I think that's a cycle that we need to break. So if you had been bullied ever, deal with those emotions. You have a beautiful team of counselors. I don't think there'll be barely, you can count few schools on your fingertips who would have such a beautiful team of counselors or life skills who actually cater to all these basic needs of the children apart from education, which is such an important thing. Go speak to them, guys. But do not do to the other what you do not want to happen. If you feel angry, you feel very, very sad and miserable, take a piece of paper, as somebody had written that I write letters to myself for in future with respect to goals, which is fine. Sometimes you can even write letters to your own self talking about how you're feeling, what makes you feel sad, angry, and miserable. Try and understand what is it that you can control, what is it that you cannot control. Because कहीं ना कहीं आज की technology हमें ये सिखाती है that you can have anything on the earth that you want. It's just a matter of a finger click. But guys, that's a major flaw. पता है लाइफ में कभी कभी एक्सेप्ट करना बहुत जरूरी होता है. कुछ चीजें आपके हिसाब से नहीं होंगी, शायद होनी भी नहीं चाहिए. Acceptance is a virtue, tolerance is a virtue which we are losing. I think if you work on some of these principles, it might become easier for you. And remember to have a very honest and open conversation. You may lie to anybody that you want to, but do not lie to yourself. And the fact or the day when you are more open to your own self, you will actually feel that there won't be any need to put a mask around and it will get reflected. If you want others to love you and respect you, if you really, really want to feel happy, socially popular and valid, you need to validate your own self first, guys. If you respect yourself, you value yourself, you care for yourself, the world will care for you. And even if it doesn't, it won't matter much. I think that's all I had to say. Very, very quick tips I thought would be good enough. You have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer because there's another speaker also who needs to speak after me. Any questions anybody has?
Gagandeep ma'am, there are many questions that are being collected. Those questions are there, but we thought that we will let Dr. Daya Pant finish and then go to the questions. We still have the time.
Perfect, ma'am.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Children do have questions. I can see. Okay, I'll just. Himani ma'am, would you like to just shoot one question? I think there was a child who's written.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So one thing that you talked about, Gagandeep ma'am, was the importance of a timetable or a routine. So this is a repeated theme that we notice in the questions, that in theory, parents say that we all know that it is important to create routines. But how do we help children actually implement and establish those routines? So this is one question that is asked by many parents, that how do we enable or how do we play a role in helping children establish routines?
Ma'am, I think that's what we need to understand. जब बच्चों को घूमना होता है, खेलना होता है, या अपने किसी एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट के लिए समय निकालना होता है, they are very good at it. Children are more efficient. But that's exactly what I'm saying. If the parents think that we can impose a routine, तो वो थोड़ा गड़बड़ है. I think अगर आप externally डंडा रख के impose करोगे तो शायद नहीं होएगा. What one needs to do is one needs to have a communication with the child, help them see what their right or wrong is. Yes, you can as a parent monitor few things. At least passwords, आपके Wi-Fi, उन सबके access immediately मत दो. कुछ चीजों का एक structure हो सकता है. In fact, there's a simple game that I want all the parents who are watching to do. I want all of you to raise your hand. It'll take just few seconds and you'll get the answer what I'm trying to say. Raise your hands up, the right hand, very gradually touch the third finger with the thumb and do as I say. Be very careful, listen very carefully to me and do as I say. Touch your cheek. And you'll see many of you would have touched your chin when I'm talking of cheek. So what I mean to say is that if you want your children to develop a routine, you also need to develop it.
Absolutely.
It won't happen. Parents बोलते तो रहते हैं, लेकिन खुद वॉक पे नहीं जाते हैं, खुद गोल्फ खेलने सुबह नहीं जाते हैं, किसी भी टाइम पे कुछ भी हो रहा है, पर बच्चों को बोलते हैं तुम्हारा ही रूटीन है यार, you better follow it. It won't work that way. So it has to be a two-way process.
All right. So you're saying that have an open communication with your kids, and second, have a routine, be a role model yourself. Thank you for that, Gagandeep.
Also do put some restrictions. I mean, you don't have to give all the liberty.
Have boundaries. Yes, yes.
Have some firm boundaries and firm, ये भी होता है, parents आज हाँ कर देते हैं, कल मना कर देते हैं, परसों फिर हाँ कर देते हैं. So that inconsistency in the words and the actions and even inconsistencies between the parents. That creates a problem. Sometimes parents would feel papa अच्छे या मम्मी अच्छी, there's a need for the parent also to validate themselves from the kids. So sometimes one parent would be very, very liberal. So बेचारा दूसरा villain बन जाता है. And it doesn't work. So I think there has to be that sense of consistency also. And it takes a while. It takes a while. You'll have to be a little more patient.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think those were very important inputs. Thanks, ma'am.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Gagandeep. Very warmly, you conveyed, cautioned children on gadget addiction and understanding bullying, and they should not do to others what they don't want others to do to them. Children, I hope you got this big message to be friends with yourself, to be honest with yourself, to keep at least knowing who you are. And remember, that is why every morning, the 10 or afternoon, the 10 minutes of meditation, the Anapana meditation, which I always said was just 10 minutes of silence, just looking inward at yourself, saying hello to yourself, acknowledging yourself, liking yourself. Those 10 minutes are, I think, crucial, and you could, all the questions that I see, those 10 minutes could also be the answer to all those questions that you have put into the boxes. Thank you very much, Dr. Gagandeep, and we will request you to stay on till 11 o'clock so we can ask you some more questions. And over to you, Dr. Daya Pant, on the topic managing negative emotions. Children are writing a lot about negative emotions in the boxes, so I think you are just going to be the need of the moment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Jairat, and it's my delight and my pleasure to be here with you, your able team, the parents, and my young friends. Friends, it's very difficult to speak after a very young, energetic, able person. Let me try to put my thoughts together. The topic chosen by the school is excellent, and often students express, and parents, of course, almost all parents, they express what to do with the negative behavior of children. I, as a counselor, keep meeting parents and students who want quick fixes for their children. You know, dealing with negative emotions, my previous speaker, she covered a lot of ground. Let me see whether I can fill in some blanks, or rather no blanks, but let me see if I can add to what she has already conveyed. You see, first of all, you would be looking forward to hearing negative emotions are very bad, something very bad to avoid and do away with. You know, they are not so bad. I'm sorry to say that. They are not also bad. We all are human beings, and we have our pluses and minuses, and we live with them. Even now, I am trying to get rid of some of my bad habits, some of my negative emotions. And I'm not sorry for that, but I'm trying to get rid of them. So they coexist in us. There's nothing to so much worry about that we have negative. But it should not stay that way. It should not stay that way. And whatever we become aware of, we have to take some action about it. Now, what we need to watch out is that they should not become destructive emotions. It's okay we are angry. It's okay we don't like someone. It's okay we are frustrated sometime, but we should not hate others. Like the Gagandeep ji was saying, we should love and respect. We should not hate. We may dislike someone, but that's also a signal that I have to do something about it. Revenge, it's a very destructive emotion. Bullying, like she said, it's to hurt some other person is very destructive emotions. Before we say how to deal with them, let's see what are these emotions. Are they feelings? What are these? You will be surprised that we are not aware of our emotions. We don't even know when they have started. They start very subtly, बड़ी धीरे से शुरू होती हैं और हमें बिल्कुल पता नहीं चलता कब हमारे अंदर ये नेगेटिव इमोशंस बनने लग गई हैं. ये ऑल ऑफ ए सडन नहीं आती हैं. ये आती हैं एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ आवर रिएक्शंस टू सेवरल इवेंट्स जिनका हमें पता भी नहीं चलता है, और धीरे धीरे हमारे ब्रेन के एक साइलेंट पार्ट में ये नेगेटिविटी इकट्ठी होनी शुरू हो जाती है. जब हम अपने को खुद ही कहने लगते हैं मैं शायद आई एम नॉट सो स्मार्ट, दैट पर्सन इज स्मार्टर, अदर्स आर मोर स्किलफुल, अदर्स हैव मोर देन मी, और इसी तरह अदर्स आर मोर ब्यूटिफुल देन मी, हैंडसम देन. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी बातें हमारे दिमाग में इकट्ठी होने लग जाती है. और ये नेगेटिविटी जो है ये हमें कई जगह it sort of these thoughts make us miserable, and when we have become miserable enough, जब ये when it gets accumulated, बहुत सारा इकट्ठा हो जाता है, तो हमारी सेल्फ एस्टीम बड़ी लो हो जाती है. तो लो सेल्फ एस्टीम फिर क्या करती है? हम खुश नहीं होते. When we are not happy, what do? We start disliking people who are happy. If somebody is laughing, we get irritated, we get angry, and heaven forbid if that person हमारा मजाक बना दिया तो then we are angry. We may express or don't express, but that anger is growing within us. So this is how emotions are created. You may be tired and you don't do well in the examination. You start saying to yourself, maybe I'm not so smart. A couple of examinations go badly and you think I'm not smart. And so do other people. Particularly parents have a very important role here. When you First, when you notice that child has done something bad, or it has gone, his or her examinations have gone wrongly, then what you have to do, you have to provide support. Well, that doesn't happen. We as parents and adults get scared that the child is become complacent. वो अब अपने उसको चैन आने लगा है बिना नंबर लाए, या इस तरह की बात है. So what we need to do, so this is how the emotions are created. I will not dwell a lot on it, but I'll just tell you, when the child is not doing well, it's not that he or she is happy with it. If they are not having friends, they are not happy. And what does it do to the child? Apparently, the child, ऊपर से they may look very normal, but whenever they are being mischievous, whenever they're being what we call negative, then something is not quite all right. These are the checkposts in a child's life, which tell them you have to change course. जिस रास्ते पर आप चले आ रहे थे, जब आप देखते हैं there is a checkpost जिस पर लिखा होता है there is a tiger ahead, आप उस रास्ते पर आगे जाएंगे? नहीं जाएंगे, रास्ता बदलेंगे, कहीं भी बदलेंगे. So these negative emotions जब बच्चे में नजर आने लगती हैं, they are indicators that the child, there is something lacking in the child, and the child needs to come up to the mark. Or so what are these checkposts? We'll just see. There are lots of things that you can do, but let's see how to become aware. I'm addressing children right now. I'm not directly addressing the parents, what they can do, only indirectly. I'm addressing, and you can change your own paths if you have some negative emotions. If you get very angry with children, you too need to change your path. So let's see. The first step, very rightly, Gagandeep said, you have to become aware. What I will say, identify the emotion. What is happening to you? Like some children have tried to identify. Some are very vague about it. See, if you say, I'm lonely, I feel very lonely, I will say, yeah, you have become slightly aware. But that's not all about awareness. Awareness is much, much more. When you say, I'm lonely, what do you mean? Is it you are lonely at home? You are lonely in school? In the classroom, you feel lonely? You feel lonely when you are sitting with your with your relatives, or you are lonely even when your parents are around. So you have to be specific. Very rightly, Gagandeep said, don't hide yourself. Don't hide from yourself. You have to state. You have to maybe write it down somewhere. I want you to write down, nothing right now, but when you go back, those of you who said we feel lonely, write down. What do you mean by loneliness? Where do you feel lonely? What are you thinking at that time? So, and mostly what happens when you feel that way, you blame someone. Very easily you blame someone. You blame your parents, you blame your relatives, you blame something or the other. You say, maybe my parents had given me this or allowed me this, I would be better off. Or so several kinds of blame games start. So, and these could be triggers or these could be the product. So you need to do something about it, dear friends, little youngsters. You have to do something about it, because over a time, this is going to really cause harm to your psyche and your body. When you say negative things to yourself, it starts a stress syndrome, a hormonal imbalance. It depletes you of happiness. And gradually, your immune system, you start becoming physically sick also, really sick. So what you need to do, you have to identify the trigger. Where is it coming? That's what I said when I said, where do you feel lonely? Among friends, among parents, in the classroom, everywhere. That is severity. You have to see what is happening. Once in a while, it is okay to feel lonely because you may be tired, you may be preoccupied, you're too stressed to be really, you are with friends, but you really don't feel like talking to them. Is it low achievement? You have to identify what is it that is triggered this. And then you often, the moment you say to yourself, your focus goes on, I don't have this, I can't do this, I don't have this. You start blaming yourself and others. But what you need to do once you have become, like somebody said, I'm not interested in studies. So break it down. First of all, break it down. When do you not feel like studying? At home? All the subjects? Is it all the subjects you don't feel like studying? Or in the classroom? Or in tuition room? Or when you're sitting alone? When do you? Why? So ask yourself those questions. Why do you not feel like studying? And choose. You have to make a choice. You have to take responsibility for action. I would say there is nobody in this world who can help me the way I can help me. Of course, if we will also talk about help from other sources, but first of all, I have to stand up for me. Those of you youngsters who are here, if you get distracted in the classroom, if you panic in difficulty, if you are always thinking of negative, the first thing is to accept, yeah, it's okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel weak. You are not weak. I think strongest are the ones who are able to accept. There will be equally good number of people around you who cannot even say, I'm lonely, I'm panic, I get distracted. So you are the smartest one who have shared. And you have the capacity. So please say to yourself, I would like to change this situation. And I decide, say it, I decide to change it. So it's okay to be distracted. It's okay to panic. All of us who are present here, all of us, your parents, teachers, me, everyone, once in a while panicked. But what did we say? We say, next time I'm going to be here, I'm not going to panic. And let me share with you, first time I was speaking, my teachers were sitting in front of me, and I'll tell you, I didn't know for first 5 minutes what I was saying. My mind was totally, what you say, panic. What happens in the examination? Then I said to myself, I have worked so hard to be here. I want to be doing very well, bring pride to my teachers. So I collected myself, and then onwards, I was so happy when my teachers came and congratulated me. So that feeling will always remain with me. So that's what I'm saying. Tell yourself that I need to take control of myself. I can do it. Well, there are harder and grave feelings which need to be, like too much guilt, too much anger, like I said, they are paralyzing. So we'll see what can be done about that. But when things are not as paralyzing, when you can still share that I'm lonely, I can't concentrate, I feel negative, I can't study. So then you have to take responsibility for yourself, right action. You can do a number of things together. There is no order in them. I'm telling you, what you can do, change your mood first. And I especially appeal to parents. If your child doesn't feel like studying, and if he or she says, I want to do game, I want to indulge in a game, or I want to go out and play, I want to listen to a song or a music, I want to play music. So please allow them. But dear parents, you have to take a commitment from the child, a serious commitment from the child. The child has all the good intentions, but sometimes they are children. They lose track of time. So you have to take a commitment and remind them that you promised 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So allow them to change their mood, allow them to get rid of frustration, fear, or whatever negative feelings they have. Make them laugh. Laughter, there's no medicine as good as laughter. Make them laugh, make them relax, support them emotionally. Anything else you do is not going to help them much. A lecture, please don't. Support them. Renew faith in yourself and in your child. I'm addressing children. Have faith in yourself. You have everything in you to help yourself. Then what do you have to do? Now please listen carefully. When you write down, it's always a very good habit to sit in a corner when you are down and out. Take a pen and a pencil. I'm addressing everyone. Take a pen or pencil. If a parent thinks my child is not doing well, pick up a pen and pencil, sit in a quiet corner, and start asking your questions. Why he or she is not doing well? To children, I say, write down what's happening to me, why I'm not doing it, what is it going on in my mind? Loneliness. Why am I feeling lonely? Why can't I go and talk to others? What is stopping me? Can I make first contact with other child? A happy contact. What will I do? How will I do it? Write down and write down a positive statement or at the end of it that tomorrow I will talk to one child. And also write how you will talk. So, like I was saying earlier, for each negative behavior, you have to write a positive behavior. That tomorrow I will go and talk to a child. I will talk very politely. I will go and ask if he has time. So for the positive statement has to be in terms of social skills, interpersonal skills. You have to understand how to build relationships. How you build relationships? You have to see if you feel lonely, if you don't have friends, if you don't have good relationships. First thing is to ask yourself, do I come across as a rude person? If you say no, then you say, do I come across as a very pleasant person? Do I laugh? How does my face look when I talk to people? Does my face look like this or my face looks happy? So you have to ask all these questions. You have to learn to be polite. You have to learn to let go when somebody accidentally or inadvertently speaks something, makes fun, to take it in good spirit. So there are lots of things on social skills. I'm sure you have access to what social skills are all about. Then more importantly, you have to take, when you write that journal on positive behavior, if you still feel very negative, a very important thing is develop a positivity in you. How do you develop positivity? It doesn't come, I will not leave it at develop positivity. You have to, on a daily basis, start from morning and see, I find this exercise excellent, develop a sense of gratitude and positivity. How will that be? You tell yourself, like, when I get up at this age, I say to myself, oh, very nice. See, I have pain sometimes, but I say, no, I'm still walking. I can still talk. I still have friends. So find out one good thing every hour, every minute that you are grateful for, and the good qualities you have. You may be lonely, but aren't you? I'm sure if you are feeling lonely, then you are a very good person, because you don't feel like going and interfering with people. I'm sure you are a very obedient child who listens to parents. I'm sure you are good in studies because you haven't developed social skills. You don't go out. So you have to affirm your good qualities. Please don't think about your bad qualities as well. For each bad quality, if you say I'm lonely, write 3 things good for yourself. Or I would say 10 good things. I would make a request to the parents, when your child ever says anything negative, please remind him of 10 good things the child has. In fact, it's a good thing that daily basis remind your child of at least 3 good things they have. You may add to the list at your own pleasure. You be grateful to the God or whosoever you believe in for whatever little things you have. You have good health. You may be lonely, but you have good health. You may be you panic, but still most of the time you are happy. So be gracious to God for good things you have. When you are relaxed, how will that help? When you relax, when your stress levels are down, you are more open to people outside, you are happier, and this attracts people. This attracts people. This makes you more focused in your studies. This makes you more mindful. So mindfulness is another thing, that instead of thinking about the past and the present or the future, stay focused on what you are doing. So if you can't concentrate, it's okay. To begin with, every time, very sweetly love yourself. You love yourself, actually stroke your head, stroke your cheeks. Try it. You may try it and tell yourself, it's okay, I will study now. So don't think that overnight it will do miracles. But you see, when you are driving or when you are cycling, आप लोग साइकिल चलाते हैं ना, आपको डायरेक्शन चेंज करनी होती है तो क्या इमीडिएटली आप लेफ्ट या राइट हो जाते हैं? नहीं, आप एक थोड़ा सा सर्कल आगे लेके फिर राउंड लेके जाते हैं. ऐसा ही जब when you have to change some habit, it takes time. So please don't get hassled that you are not able to change yourself. Tell yourself, I will change, I will change. And if you make 1%, 5%, 10% progress, feel good about it. Tell yourself proudly, I'm changing. But what people do normally, I was listening to the question on timetable. We are not able to keep to the routine, we can't make timetables. I have seen children make timetable without thinking. See, they will say 2 hours I will study, 2 hours, 1 hour I'll play, 1 hour I'll play TV. And when they are not able to do that, they tell you, say, I'm no good, my timetable doesn't work. Please don't do that. Please tell yourself, I will try next time to stick to the routine. If you stick to it 5%, tell yourself, wow, I did good. I'm going to next time be more focused. So this kind of mindfulness is much better than this kind of positive self-talk. Encourage yourself. You are your best friend. Encourage yourself. Please don't start a cycle of negative stuff in your mind, because it is that negative emotions are your own interpretations and they are your views on yourself. So first of all, stop battering yourself, stop hitting yourself for failing a couple of times. Please encourage and motivate yourself. Then if things are too bad, if you think things are too bad, then you can start with exercise, like Gagandeep ma'am said, cycle. You can cycle, you can play games, you can just go for a walk, run. Sometimes when the negative thoughts are too much in our mind, you just leave studies and go out, because that's nature's way of telling you that I'm disturbed. So tell yourself at that time, I'm disturbed, it's okay, I'll take a round and come back. So what is that? Changing course. You change course. Instead of saying, look again, I can't. You keep reminders on your table. I have to, have your goals, little goals. Today I will try to minimize my distraction in studies 5% of the time. Let me focus a little more. So every day you assess yourself. So start that cycle of positivity and assess yourself and congratulate yourself. And if you fail, then say, I need a little more time. Maybe I've gone a little far into that path of where tiger is. I have to come back. So it will take time to come back to that tiger wala route, right? So negative emotions are the tiger wala route. You have to come back and it will take time. If you are right there, then it will take time again to change the course. So please be kind to yourself. First of all, be nice to yourself, and parents, be nice to your children. And first of all, parents, be nice to yourself. Stop bettering yourself that you are not good parents. You are good parents and you will be successful. Say that to yourself. Increase positivity, use good words, and you will see that. Have good times, have fun times in the family. If you see a lot of negativity among yourself and with your children, have fun times. Those fun times are rewarding. Great. If still it doesn't work, this is a time to seek support and talk outside the family. Seek help by all means. It's not a bad idea to seek help. It's a bad idea to leave your children with negativity rather than to seek help. Nobody will look down on you for seeking help. Nobody will evaluate you. Even if they do, it's your family and you who are most precious and important. So, friends, with this, I close my session, and a few things that I've said are: take decision, take things in your hand. You have all the powers. Start with a small thing. Give yourself positive feedback. Change your talk here. Tell yourself positive things about yourself. Be gracious and exercise. With that, I close. Thank you very much. Listening is a very hard thing. Thanks for listening patiently. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think that was really very insightful and gave us a lot of very useful tools. So my major takeaway, ma'am, from your talk is that children have to take responsibility. They have to take ownership of their own emotions, and self-awareness is the key. You have a support system of your parents and teachers, but then I think it's very important that you are self-aware. You can identify your feelings and you can also take corrective action. So ma'am talked about being grateful, using laughter as a therapy, getting together as a family and try to relax and be with each other. And I think the basic important thing is that children, it's very important to be self-aware and understand your triggers. Ma'am also spoke extensively about identifying your own triggers. What makes you angry? What makes you depressed? What makes you happy? So there was and giving yourself a good pep talk, having positive self goals. So I think all of those are very important. And I think our teachers, our team can also take this forward during your life skill classes. Thank you, Daya ma'am. And so one question that I would like to ask you, ma'am, is that even if we look at the questions asked by the children, so during these times when children are mostly restricted at home, there are a lot of mood swings that they're experiencing. They feel angry, they feel depressed at times, they're anxious, and because of which the conflicts with the parents are also increasing every day. So how do they deal with these kind of situations? What do they do to avoid this?
Well, conflicts are a part of life, right? Conflicts will always be there. First of all, I will say to everyone, present here, that conflicts are a part of life. You can't wish them away. I don't think there is one person here who says I don't have conflicts in my life. Even you and I are also having conflicts when we have, right? Am I right there? That we would like to go out. Somebody will say, no. How can you go out? Deal with it, whatever it is. So we all have conflicts, and with children, they sometimes appear to be severe because children have more energy. And rightly so, because they are restricted at home. They have hardly any physical outlets for their energy. So please, first of all, take it in with their. What happens is, the moment we hear conflict, when we hear no, and tempers go, boom. So first of all, we have to understand that there will be conflicts. They are part of life. And like I said about negative emotions, these are opportunities to sort out things, to get to know what my children are thinking. So first of all, I will say, relax, parents, relax yourself. Children, we think that, let me speak directly to parents right now and say, when you were children, weren't these conflicts as much as they are now? I hear grandparents, parents say, no, 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 in our times, we were such good children. They forget, actually. We too had conflicts with our parents. If you didn't have, you were not living really. Every one of us, the most obedient even, had some conflicts. Some of us were too what should I say, repressed, and we kept quiet, but most of the children. So first of all, relax, relax, relax. It's okay. But what can you do? No, relax is not the only answer. I'm saying it because people really panic. So now what can we do? Ask them, negotiate with them. First say yes, I know you want this. Say yes. Sometimes the children's demands are logical and they are right, and we still say no. How can it be? So first say yes and ask them, and then negotiate with them. Give them what is logically possible. Put all the possibilities. Ask them in this situation. Ask them, ask them, ASK. What can we do in this situation? Tell me, you tell me. I think the child himself will come off his high horse, will help you deal with it, the situation, will come up with solutions. So you have to collectively put your mind. At this time, each and every conflict will be so different from each other. I cannot give you straight away, solutions, but I'll definitely tell you, please keep asking. Don't lose temper. If you are losing temper, suspend the meeting and then say we'll continue after some time. But ask them, what can we do? This is not possible, but tell me another. Please tell me another. Don't think that they are kids and you can shut them up. Just say, please tell me another thing. And continue.
Thank you, ma'am. I think so. What we have to accept is that conflicts are a natural part of relationships. It happens, so parents must relax. Then understanding each other's perspectives, consider to negotiate with each other, and also avoid losing tempers. That's very important. So I think that's a 4-step model that Daya ma'am has given us.
Let me remind of 2 more. Ask children what we should do, all the course of action, and then choose what is mutually acceptable.
Absolutely. So we have to respect children also and consider their opinions and their choices as well. Yeah. Fair, ma'am. Thank you so much. One more questions, and then probably Charu ma'am can ask further questions. So one very interesting question, ma'am, that has come up is we talked about gratitude, giving, sharing. And Gagandeep, Dr. Gagandeep also talked about the same, that sometimes, you have to focus on other people, not only focus on your own happiness and what you can get out of other people, but it is also important that you give and you share. But one question that has been asked in the chat boxes, that sharing and giving is great, but sometimes what happens is that you share and you give, but the other person or other people do not reciprocate your feelings, and that hurts. So in that kind of situation, what is to be done?
You see, this is my belief and my opinion that I have my first responsibility is to myself, whether it's child or the parent or anybody or any one of us. If I'm not happy, I have to be happy first of all. It's my responsibility as a human that I have to be happy. But my happiness should never trample on the happiness of others, right? So giving, sharing, gratitude, these feelings are within me. This is in my personal space. I'm sharing, you share, sharing and caring is nice, but only a happy person can share. Only a happy person can care. So your first responsibility is to yourself. That's what I think. But I'm not encouraging greed. I'm not encouraging hoarding. I'm only saying try to be happy and share with when you feel happy, do share. If you can't share your things, if you don't feel like sharing, at your pencil, your book, or your notes, at least you can share your happiness. At least don't stop saying good morning to people. Just because somebody doesn't say good morning, that person doesn't say good morning, and I will not say good morning. So say good morning, say smile at people, and then if you feel like sharing other things also, sometimes you know what happens, how this process, this, you see, you have to go in the, इसको बारीकी से देखने की जरूरत है. Why people stop caring and sharing? I give, other person doesn't give. So when I smile, smile at other person, I don't stop smiling at the other person also comes out of their grief, and they are able to see the world more clearly. And then this sharing, caring can take place. So it is important that I become a source of happiness for me as well as others. And don't stop being, at least indulging in these niceties. I've seen even adults, very nice, very intelligent, smart, happy people saying, well, I don't care for that person. So except for very negative people who make you feel very bad, till you are not strong, don't go into their personal space. I don't know whether it's becoming complex. What I'm saying is, अगर आपको कोई बहुत नेगेटिव आदमी दिखता है तो थोड़ी देर के लिए उससे दूर हो जाइए. लेकिन generally you should stay happy with people, smile at people, be nice to them, and feel confident that I have to be nice to others. People don't have to be nice to me. At least what comes free, I should give free. Rest is your choice. So take a decision.
Yes, ma'am. Rightly said. So you can't pour from an empty cup. So first take care of yourself and then do as much as you can. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Charu, ma'am, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Actually, a lot of children, they had talked about their worries, and I am sure that they got suggestions from you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, I just wanted one thing that was coming to my mind because my children share in the class too. Is mental well-being and happiness, are they the same thing? Somebody who is happy is also in that state of mental well-being, or we need to do something for it too?
No. You see, mental well-being and happiness are two different things. First of all, you have to understand that as human beings, we need to stay happy. Happiness is a good idea, but it's life, and we are human beings. We are happy and happy both. But mental health and mental well-being is beyond these. You can be unhappy for a little while, but then you bounce back. As long as you are bouncing back, you see, it's like this life is a maze in which we are finding our way. As long as we move on, find a block, then we move. But if we stay there focused, that is mental ill health. We are not able to move. We are not able to make any progress. So when you are still bouncing back, then you are mentally healthy. You may be unhappy for some time. You may be in grief. You may achieve less. You may feel lonely for a little while. You don't know, your parents are angry with you. But if you are able to bounce back with all that, with more achievement, with making parents happy, making friends, as long as you making new friends. Some people have shared with me that they are unhappy that they will have to leave their college friends. This is not really a negative thing, but it will become a negative thing if they are not able to make friends in the college. So what is important? This is telling them, are you scared of your social skills that college mein aap friends nahi bana paoge? So you see, so there's a question here. Is my mental health okay? Are my skills in place? So mental health is much beyond these small upsets in life, which are there for everyone, you, me, and everyone.
True, ma'am. Absolutely. We need to constantly work for our mental well-being, and yeah, happiness is a state of mind, as you said, ma'am. Ma'am, another thing is there's a lot of negativity in the news, and there is a lot of sensational news, and children have a lot of questions after they come to know from the news, whether it is about any suicide cases or any other thing. So, and at times they feel very low once they listen to that news. What can we do in these times, already little unexpected times? What can we do to keep ourselves better, and how to keep ourselves a little unaffected by all these news clippings?
You see, I wouldn't say unaffected. I'll say be thoughtful and vigilant about it. It will be very callous. It will be inhuman not to be worried about people committing suicide, people being killed, or, you know, as we grow adults, we know of so many things. As a peace worker, as a peace education person, and as a counselor, I hear daily about so much marital problems in people, about so many problems of children, about so many problems of parents themselves. Parents come to me with the problems of their children, and I find there is a marital problem going on among themselves. So as a counselor, I listen to so much negativity, but I don't become negative, you know. And as we grow as a peace worker, I learned of so much strife all around the world. इतना झगड़ा हो रहा है, इतना वॉर चल रही है, आप सोच भी नहीं सकते, आपको पता भी नहीं होगा. People are being killed, slaughtered in at this time. Lakhs of people all over the world are being slaughtered. जैसे हमारे नक्सलाइट एम्बुश हो रहा है. तो इसको जानना और उसके बाद मेंटली हेल्दी रहना, ये इससे मुझे स्ट्रेंथ मिलती है कि मैं लोगों को बताऊं कि पॉजिटिविटी में मेरी चॉइस है. पॉजिटिविटी मेरी इज माय चॉइस. ये मेरी चॉइस है, ये मेरे लिए मेरा ऑप्शन है कि मैं इस सब को देखकर सुनकर दुखी हो जाऊंगी और मैं सोचूंगी इस दुनिया में तो कुछ है ही नहीं, लोग एक दूसरे को मारते हैं. तो मैं अपनी चॉइस एग्जर्ट करती हूँ very importantly, and every time I say to myself, anywhere I get opportunity, I will try to spread mental health, happiness, and I'll make people strong. So I rededicate myself every time with more commitment. So जब भी आप देखें मेरे नंबर कम है, तो ये ना कहें पहली बार कि मेरे नंबर कम आए, ये कहें मैं अपने नंबर 5% और कैसे बढ़ा सकता हूँ. So every time when you say there is a suicide, so I will say at least I will never do this. कितनी भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाए, मेरे पास मेरे पेरेंट्स हैं. ग्रेटिट्यूड की बात आपने कही, मेरे पास मेरे पेरेंट्स हैं, मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझे प्यार करते हैं. मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझे प्यार नहीं करते, मेरा भाई मुझे प्यार करता है, मेरी बहन मुझे प्यार करती है, हम सब इकट्ठे हैं. मेरे पड़ोसी मुझे देखते हैं तो स्माइल करते हैं. आज मुझे किसी ने रास्ते में स्माइल किया, मेरी तरफ 2 बार देखा. See, it makes your day. When somebody turns and looks at you twice, it makes you feel very good. आजकल के बच्चे तो ये जानते हैं कि जब कोई लड़की ने उन्हें से नजर मिली तो उनको अच्छा लगता है. सो वो क्यों मिलती है? इसलिए नहीं कि आप बहुत खूबसूरत दिखते हैं, इसलिए भी क्योंकि आप अच्छे इंसान हैं. सो अच्छे इंसान, सो प्लीज रिमेंबर, इट्स नॉट ओनली लुक्स एक बार आईज अट्रैक्ट करते हैं, लेकिन अच्छा इंसान बार बार अट्रैक्ट करता है. ब्यूटी सिर्फ आईज में होती है, उसके बाद इट्स योर क्वालिटीज इनसाइड that start working. So enhance your positivity, enhance your qualities. Don't fall prey to negativity in the world, whether it is bad news, whether it is sickness, corona hai ya restrictions hai. Always there is always the other side of the coin. At least one more side is there, always. So you have to find. Nahi dikh rahi to dhoondiye.
True. So positivity is a choice, and as Principal Ma'am slide also said, I chose happiness. So it is up to me what I choose. I mean, all the things are there, it's my choice. Absolutely, ma'am. The last thing from my side is there anything that you can suggest to the parents? What kind of environment they can create at home so that, you know, children thrive, and what are some of the very, very essential things that should be there and that can enhance the relationship also?
See, today I didn't focus so much on parents, although children's happiness, it starts with parents. I said, as a counselor, when I look at children's problems, it always boils down to problem between parents, most of the time. I'm not saying always, but I'll say 30 to 40% of the time, or even little more. तो parents को तो ये मैं कहूँगी सिर्फ कि अगर आप हम कोई परफेक्ट इंसान नहीं है, तो हमारे बच्चे हमारा रिफ्लेक्शन होते हैं, लेकिन एक बार जब वो घर से बाहर निकल जाते हैं तब दूसरों का असर बहुत ज्यादा उन पर पड़ता है. तो अब इतना टाइम तो नहीं है मैं बहुत सारी बातें करूं, तो मैं 2 बातें सिर्फ करूंगी. वो एक ये कि कई बार हम अपने बच्चों को जो अच्छी बातें बता रहे होते हैं, आई एम सेइंग इन हिंदी स्ट्रेट फ्रॉम हार्ट टू हार्ट, अपनी भाषा में थिंग्स स्ट्राइक राइट हियर। हम जब अपने बच्चों को कुछ बोल रहे होते हैं तो वो उस समय ध्यान नहीं दे रहे होते हैं, ऐसा लगता है कि वो नहीं सुन रहे, वो नहीं मान रहे, बट डोंट स्टॉप, कीप सेइंग द गुड थिंग्स। प्यार से, आराम से, बार बार कहिए। जैसे अगर आपको ये कहना है बेटा तुम कर सकते हो, करो, तो कहो। लेकिन अगर ये कहना है तू बेवकूफ है, तू कुछ नहीं करेगा, मत कहो, मत कहो, यहां अंदर रख लो। So say positive things, tell them what to do, don't tell them what they don't have, what they can't do, tell them what to। बार बार कहिए, आज नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों, उनमें वो सब बातें आएंगी जो आप कर रहे हैं। जो आप कर रहे हैं वो उनमें थोड़ी कम आएंगी, जो कह रहे हैं, सॉरी, जो कह रहे हैं वो थोड़ी कम आएंगी, लेकिन वो भी आएंगी। लेकिन जो आप करके दिखा रहे हैं वो उनमें जरूर आएंगी, जरूर आएंगी। तो इसलिए सही करिए जहां तक पॉसिबल है, ह्यूमनली, डोंट फील गिल्टी, बट जहां तक ह्यूमनली पॉसिबल है उनके सामने।
क्वेश्चन बड़ा अच्छा है बच्चों का, आई थिंक will solve a lot of problem. Does it make me look weak? Does it make me look weak when I ask for help? Shall I ask that one? जी जी,
मैं बोलूं उसका जवाब? जब आप, मैं जिंदगी में एक आपको बता दूं बच्चों, when you ask for help you are the most strong person। वही बोल सकता है, जो बोलता है वो सबसे स्ट्रांग होता है। बहुत टाइम नहीं है, फिर भी मैं एक इंसिडेंट शेयर करना चाहूंगी। एक बार मैं ऐसे ही स्कूल में बात कर रही थी कि पढ़ाई को कैसे इंप्रूव करें, तो एक बच्चे ने 300 लोगों के सामने खड़े होकर बोला मैं मैथ्स में अच्छी नहीं हूं, मैं मैथ्स में अच्छी कैसे बन सकती हूँ। तो मैंने उस बच्चे को बोला देखो तुम्हारे नंबर 80 से 80% के आसपास आते होंगे, तुम जो कह रही हो मैं मैथ्स में अच्छी नहीं हूं, और इस पर मैं अपनी रेपुटेशन स्टेक कर सकती हूँ। और सब पेरेंट्स को भी बोला, जितने पेरेंट्स और बच्चे बैठे थे और टीचर्स बैठे थे। फिर मैंने उससे पूछा कितने नंबर आते हैं, उस बच्ची ने बोला 85%। फिर मैंने उससे कहा कि फिर जो बात हुई, तो मैंने ऐसा क्यों सोचा कि इसके 85% आते हैं, इसलिए कि जो इतनी हिम्मत करता है कि मुझे बताओ मैं कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकता हूं, उसमें बहुत सारी क्वालिटीज हैं। तो जो बच्चा हेल्प सीख करता है वो वीक नहीं होता, वो बहुत स्ट्रांग बच्चा होता है। उसको विश्वास है कि मेरे अंदर बहुत कुछ पॉजिटिव है और उसे मैं दूसरे की मदद से उसको ब्लूम कर सकता हूं, उसको अचीव कर सकता हूं, तभी वो सवाल पूछता है। सो अ पर्सन सीकिंग हेल्प is most positive and most strong person. I will encourage all of you to seek help wherever, और अगर नहीं मिलती है तो दूसरे लोगों से बात करिए, बच्चों से बात करिए, टीचर से बात करिए, पेरेंट्स से बात करिए। अगर कहीं भी नहीं मिलती है तो dig into your own resources, dig into media, media has a lot of answers। अगर कहीं नहीं मिलती है ask me, you have very able counselors here, वहां जाइए, उनसे पूछिए, आई एम श्योर somebody will be able to help you, but help seeker is the strongest person।
That was a very key message, ma'am. I think that is the biggest takeaway children and parents need to derive from today's conversation, that seeking help is the sign of strength. I think that's really very, very important. And as ma'am said, that she has graciously offered to be available for our parents and teachers. And similarly, I think we have a very able team of counselors. So parents and children, in case there is any need at all, any place where you're feeling vulnerable, please feel free to seek help. And thank you, Daya ma'am. And may I now invite Edie ma'am to close the session with her message. Dear ma'am, please.
So respected Professor Daya Pant, Department of Education Psychology, NCERT, Dr. Gagandeep Kaur, renowned clinical psychologist, Principal Seema Jairat, our own dear parents, teachers and students, good morning to all of you. It is indeed privileged to be hosting our first webinar series on equipping the self with a toolkit for socio-emotional well-being for our parents, teachers, and students. And it's our honor and pleasure listening Dr. Gagandeep Kaur and Professor Dayapant a much needed conversation on how to deal with socio-emotional well-being of our kids. And today, valuable tips, powerful tools suggested by them is a great way to support our own well-being, as the relationship with ourselves is very important. The sudden disruption of routines, lack of social and physical activities, having limited access to peers and classmates are affecting children's social emotional well-being, which can in turn affect their educational performance, learning, and development. Here I must talk about our committed teachers, our dedicated teachers, their invaluable effort, guidance, and they have tried hard to learn new virtual teaching learning methods to make learning fun and engaging for all our students using variety of pedagogical tools. Not only our teachers, even our counselors, Ms. Charu Seth, Hanika Kular, Renu Bhatia, time to time strategize the activities by supporting our children to calm down their mind, ease anxiety, and cope up with the wide range of emotions to their new classroom at home during their life skills classes. Already our principal, she has mentioned about what tools they are using, Sparkle Jar, Comfort Box, meditation. So, but I must say, the parent role, they are being challenged to take extra care of their emotional well-being along with the extended responsibilities of homeschooling and creating positive environment on top of their professional commitment. How often we heard Sachin Tendulkar say, "My father always told me, my brother used to tell me." When Yuvraj Singh was asked about his comeback post-cancer, his reply began, "My mother is a key strong lady." It was Jawaharlal Nehru who told his daughter Indira Gandhi, "You will often find your life splitting into two roads, one the easy and the crowded, and the other tough and less crowded. And that will make all the difference." Much later in her life, Indira Gandhi acknowledged, "That is exactly what I did, and that has made all the difference." Mahatma Gandhi's mother told him, "Even while in London, you will not touch meat, women, and alcohol." Much later in his life, Gandhiji acknowledged, "I exactly did that, and those years shaped the character of my life." So it was a mother who shaped even the father of nation. That's why primary responsibility in parenting is to be a role model worth emulating. And already mentioned by our experts, Mrs. Dayapant and Gagandeep Kaur, the life of every parent is warning or an example to children. So dear parent, you can support children by being a good emotional role model, being an emotional coach, use positive discipline techniques, teach digital etiquettes, give choices, and preserve the originality of your children. Communicate enough with your child, acknowledge your child's feeling, keep saying good things, encourage your child to try new things. It is easy to be one in the crowd. It needs courage to be different from the crowd. And what your children will be depends on the role the parents play in shaping their self-image. I heartily thank our parents for their gracious presence in such a large number. I can see they are more than 600. So, and looking forward for more such productive session in future also. Once again, I thank Dr. Gagandeep, Professor Dayapant for sparing their valuable time to guide us with their experience and sharing the practical solution that is required to make ourselves happy. I too thank our technical department led by Ms. Monica Sharma for making this event possible. I do mention Himani Tyagi Madam, our academic coordinator, in coordinating this event successfully. And last but not least, I appreciate the initiative taken by our principal Seema Jairath, realizing the need to organize this webinar as during this challenging time, it is difficult to keep the students, teachers, and ourselves been motivated. So once again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the attendees. I think we have almost more than 600 people who have joined us today. And I can see people writing in the box also that they have benefited from this. Children and parents, I would just like to take a quick feedback here and now that I can see that there is a huge need. I have tried to write answers to a lot of the questions that have been posed in the box. But of course, there are questions and there are questions. A lot have been answered by our wonderful experts, Dr. Pant and Dr. Gagandeep. Dr. Gagandeep had to leave at exact 11, so she did. And we spoke separately. But if you feel the need for more such programs, we can have two options. Every class has one counselor, one life skills person attached to them, teacher. So one, you could have small mini sessions within your class where you can ask your questions and your counselor can respond to them. And the second option is we can do it in a webinar style with our life skill team available in a Teams event, and parents and children can be there and they can we can do another session like this in-house. So if you want it in the classroom, please write C in the chat box, in the question answer box. If you want it in the webinar design, write W, C or W. Just write in the chat, in the QA box, C or W, depending on what do you think is the need. That will give all of us an idea of what do we need. Quickly, everyone, if you can quickly start writing in the Q&A box, whether we need something like this. Let me see if anybody is writing. I cannot see anyone writing. Monica ma'am, till it is published, I think it can't be visible, or we can see the new one.
No, ma'am, as of now, nobody has written. I'm just watching it. If I get the response, I'll publish.
Yeah,
it has come. It has come.
Now I'm getting W and somebody has written C also, but most are W's. As of now, I want everyone. We have 600 people here. At least 100 of them should write so that we have an idea of what we want to do. This is amazing. And thank you, everybody. I think it was a beautiful amalgamation of thoughts that began way before this webinar happened, that led to this webinar. And I think the children have contributed in equal measure by asking questions. The coaches have responded by, suggesting that we should do something like that. And thank you, Edie ma'am, always for your support. A big thank you, Dr. Daya Pant. Again, it was wonderful having you here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, ma'am, with your permission, may I end the event now?
Yeah, we are also leaving, Monica, madam.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support.